Hello everyone, welcome to WebDev Warrior. In this video, we are going to build an amazing ebook landing page from scratch. We are going to use the latest version of Next.js, which is Next.js 15, and we are going to also use the TypeScript and Tailwind CSS in this project. And we are going to implement the dark mode and light mode in this landing page. So first, let me show you a demo of this landing page. So if I reload the page, you can see we have animation in our website. Here we have a logo with some nav links. Then we have this beautiful button, and then we have this button to toggle our dark mode and light mode. Then we have this content and image. And if I start scrolling, we have this about section, and you can see we have scroll animation. This element will come to the screen when we start scrolling. Then we have this discover your benefit section, and you can see this beautiful design and also the scroll animation. Then we have this best selling book slider, and you can slide from left to right or right to left, and this slider also have a auto sliding feature. So if you wait sometimes, the slider will automatically slide, as you can see. Then we have this pricing section with scroll animation. Then we have this client review slider. Then we have this beautiful footer. Here we have a button, so if I click here, it will go to the top, and it's a scroll to top button. Now, if you click on the button, you can see smoothly it transition from light mode to dark mode. And you can see how beautiful this looks in the dark mode also. So if I show you the dark mode, you can see everything fit perfectly and everything looks amazing in the dark mode also. And we also have this button, and the important thing is, as you can notice, that how smoothly it transitions from light mode to dark mode or dark mode to light mode. Another important feature of this landing page is it's fully mobile responsive. Not only mobile, it is responsive in every device. So first let's check on the mobile devices. So if I select the mobile devices, you can see it fit perfectly. We have the logo, we have the download button, we have the dark mode, light mode toggle button, and we have this burger menu. So if I click here, you can see a sidebar will open, and you can see how smoothly it open and closes, which looks amazing. And now let's check our other section. You can see every sections fit perfectly with the screen size and looks amazing. And we have this scroll to top. Now let's check on the iPad devices, and in the iPad you can see it also fit perfectly everything. And we also have the dark mode, light mode, and if I start scrolling, you can see every section fit perfectly in the iPad devices. So our landing page is fully responsive. So in this video, I am going to teach you everything from scratch in step-by-step process. I'm going to teach you how you can initialize your Next.js project, how you can structure your file, how you can create reusable component, how you can use Tailwind CSS to make your website responsive. I'm going to show you how you can implement the dark mode and light mode. And finally, I'm going to teach you how you can deploy your project in live server. So there are a lot of things that you are going to learn from this tutorial. So I encourage you to watch the full tutorial for better understanding. And the source code and starter file of this project will be given in the description. And if you have any question related to this project, you can ask me in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel for more Next.js and full stack project video. So without wasting our time, let's start building this amazing landing page. Now let's set up our project. So first I'm going to create a new folder in my PC, and I'm going to name it ebook YT. And then I'm going to open this folder with my Visual Studio Code. And in the Visual Studio Code, I'm going to open a new terminal. And in the new terminal, I'm going to run our script to initialize a Next.js project. So I'm going to use npx create next app at the rate latest, and I'm going to add a dot slash so that all the packages are installed in this folder, ebook YT folder, and I'm going to hit enter. So it asked me, would you like to use TypeScript? Yes, we are going to use TypeScript. we're going to use ESLint, we're going to use Tailwind CSS. We do not need the source directory. We're going to use the app router, and we are going to use the turbo pack. So this basically for the faster development, and it's newly introduced in Next.js 15. So we're going to use this. So I'm going to hit enter, and we do not need to customize our import aliases. So I'm going to hit enter. So this will initialize our Next.js project and install all the necessary packages. So let's wait some time to complete the installation. The installation is completed. Now first go to your tailwind config.ts, and here remove the extend part because we do not need it. If we need anything, we are going to start from scratch. And then we have this app. This is the main directory. Here we have the fab icon, and then we have this global.css, and remove all of this because we are going to start from scratch. Then we have this layout.tsx. This layout is the overall wrapper of our project. For example, if you add a navbar and footer, then this navbar and footer will be added to all the page that you are going to create in this project. So the layout is overall wrapper of our project. So we are going to explore layout later. Then we have this page.tsx. So this is the main page. When you go to the localhost 3000, this page will appear on the screen. So I'm going to remove all of this, and I'm going to use a shortcut RAFC to create the component boilerplate, and I'm going to name this homepage. If you're wondering how I use the shortcut, so to use the shortcut, you need to install a extension. The extension you need to install is this one, ES7 React Redux React Native Snippet. By installing this extension, you can use the shortcut. Now here I am going to add some Tailwind class name to check if our Tailwind is working or not. So let's use text 9xl and text red 900. Now if I hit save, and if I use npm run dev to run our project, then open the browser, and I'm going to use our localhost 3000. Now you can see we have our bigger text and red color. That means our tailwind is working properly. So now remove all of this because we do not need it, and hit save. Next, we are going to customize our font and metadata. For that, go to your layout.tsx. Here you can see they give us some font, but we are not going to use this. So remove this, and we are going to import Poppins. So we're going to use Poppins for our project, and Poppins from our next font Google. And then I'm going to create a variable called font, and then I'm going to use Poppins, and I'm going to call this, and we have to pass some property here. First one is the font weight, and for the font weight we are going to use the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, and 900. So all of the font weight we are going to use. Then we have to pass another one, which is subsets, and for the subsets we are going to use Latin. Then here I am going to remove all of this, and I'm going to use font dot class name. That's it. Now if I go to our project, and if I inspect, and if I hover on the text, you can see it's Poppins now. So our font is working properly. Next, we are going to change the metadata. So this is the metadata. Metadata is very important for SEO purposes. So if you want proper SEO, you need to provide proper title and description. So here I am going to use ebook landing page, and here I am going to use ebook landing page using Next.js. You can use anything you want. So now if I go to our project, here you can see it changes now. It's now ebook landing page. That's awesome. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a package for the icons. In our project, we are going to use different types of icons. And for the icons, we are going to use a package which is React icons. So if I show you the React icons, and you can see they have a lot of different types of icons that you can use. So let's go to their npm and copy their npm script. Now remove this, and here I'm going to split our terminal, and here I'm going to run our npm I react icons to install our react icons. So our react icons is successfully installed. Next, what I'm going to do is in the public, I'm going to create a folder called images. So we need some images to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some images here, and this image will be given in the starter file, and the starter file is in the description. So when you download the starter file, you will get these images. So I'm going to copy it here. So these are some of the images that we are going to use in our project. So that's it. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a component folder, components, and inside this, first we will have a home for our home page related component, and then a helper for our helper component. And in the home, I'm going to create a home.tsx, and I'm going to use rafc to create the component boilerplate. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this home in our home page. So all our home page related component will be added in our home, and then the home will be added to our home page. That's how our home page component will be clean, and all the work will be done in the home component. So that's it. Now if I go to our project, and you can see the text is now home. Awesome. And in the helper, we are going to add our helper components. So this is it for our project setup. Now we are going to build the navbar. So if I show you the navbar, here you can see we have logo, some nav links, a button, and a theme switch button, where we have the moon icon and a sun icon. So first let's go to our project, and here in the component in the home, I'm going to create a folder called navbar, and inside this I'm going to first create a nav.tsx. This is for the large screen navbar. I'm going to use rfc to create the component boilerplate, and I'm going to hit save. Then I'm going to create another one for our mobile navbar.tsx, and this one is for our mobile sidebar. I'm going to hit save, and then I'm going to create another one which is responsive nav.tsx. So this is for the functionality. So we are going to add the responsive functionality here in our responsive navbar. And in the responsive nav, I'm going to add our navbar and our mobile navbar. Then I'm going to add this in our layout. So in the app, in the layout, I'm going to add this so that all the pages have access to this responsive navbar. So here I'm going to add our responsive nav. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have the text nav, mobile nav, and the home. So for now what I'm going to do is in the home I'm going to remove this text, and here I'm going to add a class name. So class name, and we're going to add overflow hidden. So we don't want any overflow in our project. So that's it. Now let's go to your navbar. Now the first tip, have a class name of transition all. We are going to add some animation here. That's why we are using the transition. We are going to use a duration of 200 milliseconds. Height will be 12 VH. Z index will be 100. The positioning will be fixed, and then width will be full. Now inside this div, we have another div with class name of flex items will be center, height will be full, justify between, width will be 90%, image will be auto. Then inside this div, we will have a logo. So if I show you the deployed version, here you can see we have a logo and we use a icon and some text to create this logo. You can use image if you want. So for the logo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a helper component called logo.tsx, and I'm going to use RAFC to create the component boilerplate. And then in the nav here, I'm going to add the logo. Now if I hit save and go to our project, here you can see we have our logo. So for now, I'm going to comment out this mobile navbar. So let's go to our code in the responsive nav. Let's comment this out for now. So now you can see we just have the logo text. Now let's go to the logo.tsx, and here for the first div have a class name of with 10, not with 10, flex, items will be center, SpaceX will be 2. Now inside this div we have another div with class name of width 10, height 10, background will be orange 500, then rounded full, flex, items will be center, then justify center, and flex will be in the column direction. Now inside this div we have an icon which is bi book icon from React icons that we install in our setup process, and this icon will have a class name of width will be 6, height will be 6, and text color will be white. Now if I hit save and let's go to our project, here you can see we have this beautiful logo with this background. Now after this div we have a h1. This h1 will have a class name of text excel. This one will be the text will be hidden in the small devices, and in large screen, smaller or large screen, this will be block. In medium screen, the text will be 2XL, and font will be semi-bold. So font semi-bold. Inside this H1 we have a E and then dash and then a span, and inside this span we have the text book, and this span will have a class name of text orange 600. Now if I hit save, if I go to our project, so here you can see we have this. Our logo is complete. Here we have this icon and then that text. Now let's go to our navbar again. So after the logo, so let's add a comment here. This is the logo. Then we have nav links. So here we have a div with class name of hidden. So this one will be hidden in smaller devices, and in large screen this will be flex. Items will be center, and SpaceX will be 10. Now inside this div, so before doing anything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder in the root level, and I'm going to name this constants. And then inside this I'm going to create a file called constants.ts, and here we are going to add our constant properties. So here I'm going to export const nav links. This one will be an array with object. The object will have an id of 1, URL. For now this one will be a hash, but when you build the other page you can add your URL here. Then a label. For the first one, we have the label home. So I'm going to copy it multiple times, and then this one will be id2, and the label will be about, id3 label will be benefits, this one will be id4, and the label will be courses. Then we have the label 5, and the label text will be not id5, and the label text will be testimonials, and this one is id6, and the label text will be contact. Now I'm going to hit save. Now by doing this, you can easily add another nav links. If you want, you can remove one, and you do not need to repeat the same styling for these nav links, and for all the nav links. So this will reduce our code. So now let's go to the nav, and here we're going to use our nav links, and we're going to import this from our constant. Then we're going to map through it, and we will get the individual link, and then we're going to return a link component. This link is coming from our next link, and here the href will be link dot url, and then we need to pass the key will be link dot id, and then this will have a class name of text gray 800, and in the dark mode, so we are going to implement the dark mode, so I will add that styling here. In the dark mode, the text will be white. In hover, the text will be orange 500, and then font will be semi bold, transition will be all, and duration will be 200. And in the dark hover, we will use the same text orange 500. That's it. And now inside this, we have a p with link dot label. Now hit save. Now if I go to our project, if I reload the page, so here we have our links, and the color is white because our system is in dark mode, and we specify the styling that in dark mode this one will have a white color. So for now, let's remove the dark styling. So let's go to our code, let's remove this, and now if I hit save, now you can see now we have this black navbar navlink. Awesome. So next what we have is, after this div, we have some buttons. So here we have a div with class name of flex, items will be center, and then SpaceX will be 4. So for the button, what we're going to do is, I'm going to here search for Tailwind's button, and here we are going to use this Dave Dojo's website. So if I click here, so you can see they have a lot of different types of pre-built amazing button that you can use here. So for this, I'm going to use this button. So I'm going to copy this, and then inside this, I'm going to paste it. And here, let's use the class name. So class name, and let's remove this relative and hit save. We're going to change some other property also. Here, instead of the green, we are going to use orange. Orange. Now if I hit save and if I go to our project, so here you can see we have this button text. Looks amazing. Now let's go to the code and change this to download. And before that, we're going to use an icon which is fi download, and this icon will have a class name of margin right will be 3, width 5, and height will be 5. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have this, but that doesn't look good. So what I'm going to do is, here after the relative, we're going to add a z of 20, then a flex, items will be centered, and text small. Now if I hit save, so now you can see now it looks good, but not like this one. So actually I used the wrong button, so we need to use this one. So I'm going to copy this and then I'm going to paste it here, and then first replace this class with class name, and then remove this svg because we do not need the svg here, and then the button text will be download, and here we are going to add an icon which is fi download icon from react icon, and the class name will be margin right 3, width will be 5, height will be 5, then here the px will be 5 and py will be 2.5. so that's just adjusting, so you can adjust as you wish. Now if I go to our project, now you can see it looks good just like this one, but it doesn't have the color and the icon is not this one. So let's go here. So this one will be download cloud, and next what I am going to do is I am going to change this indigo with orange. Now if I hit save, now you can see it looks good just like this one. Awesome. And we have this nav links. Next we have this toggle button, toggle between light and dark mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a separate component for the toggling. So for this button, so let's go to our code and this is the button, download button. So let's use comment download buttons, and then we have toggle buttons, toggle button, and for the toggle button I'm going to create a helper component, and here I'm going to name this theme toggle .tss, and I'm going to use rafc to create the component boilerplate, and we are going to add the logic to change the theme later. For now let's just add the static buttons. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to return a button and then The button will have a class name of padding 2 rounded full, then bg will be gray 200, in hover bg will be gray 300, and we're going to use a transition. That's it. Now inside this button we will use a sun icon, so we are going to use bi sun, and this one will have a class name of text yellow 400, width will be 6, height will be 6. And if I hit save, and let's go to our nav.tsx, and here we're going to add our toggle button, not toggle, theme toggle. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have our sun icon, but in the light mode this one will be this moon icon. So we are going to fix the styling later when we implement the dark mode and light mode. For now this is just a demo purposes. Next what we need is, after the theme toggle we need a burger menu. So after the theme toggle we'll have a burger menu, and here we're going to use a icon which is high bars bottom right, and this one will have a class name of width 8, height will be 8, cursor pointer, text will be orange 500, and in large screen this one will be hidden. So this will only show in the smaller devices. Now if I hit save, and let's remove this one, we don't use this. Let's hit save and go to our project. So now if I inspect and if I reduce the size, here you can see in the mobile devices we have our menu icon, and the nav links are hidden in the smaller devices. So that's awesome. Next we have another feature in our deployed version. Here you can see, so if I start scrolling, this navbar become fixed, and this navbar will have a shadow. So now we are going to implement this. So to implement this, let's go to our code and in the nav, and here first what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this into a client component. Usually in Next.js, every component is server component, and in server component you cannot use hooks. To use hooks, you need to convert your component a client component. So I'm going to convert this a client component using use client. So this will convert our component into a client component so that we can use different types of hooks here. But you cannot use hooks in server component. If I show you, so let's use a state variable here, which is navbg, and set navbg, and let's use state, and initially this one will be false. Now if I remove this use client and hit save and go to our project, here you can see we have an error that you are importing a component that need use state. This React hooks only work in a client component, so we need to use this use client. So let's use the use client at the top. So use client. Now hit save. So these are navbg and set navbg. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a use effect here, and then the dependency array, empty dependency array. Here first we are going to create a function called handler. This one will be an arrow function, and inside this we are going to check if the window dot scroll y, so scroll in the y direction. If it is greater than or equal 90, in that case we are going to set our navbg to true. Then we are going to show the navbg and the shadow. If window dot scroll y is less than 90, in that case we are not going to show the background, so the navbg will be false. That's it. Then in the window dot add event listener, and we are going to listen for the scroll event, and we are going to call our handler. Now next what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cleanup function. So it is good practice to use a cleanup function when you use add event listener. So we are going to use an arrow function, and then we are going to use window dot remove event listener, and we are going to remove this event. And if I hit save, so now we have a navbg. Next what I'm going to do is for this div I'm going to convert this into a template literal so that we can inject the dynamic styling here. So I'm going to remove this double quote, and here we are going to check if the navbg is true. In that case we are going to use bg of white. In dark mode the bg will be black, shadow will be empty. Otherwise we will have just the fixed positioning. That's it. Now if I hit save, and let's go to our home, and let's add some height here. So let's say height will be 200 pixel. Now if I hit save and go to our project, if I reload the page and if I start scrolling, you can see the system is in the dark mode. That's why it's detect the system dark mode and it's changing its background color. So this functionality works properly, but when we implement the dark mode and light mode, this will look even better. So for now that's okay. So we have our functionality. Next, remove this height from here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my navbar and remove this dark functionality. We're going to add this when we implement the dark light functionality. So now if I go to our project and let's add the height again. So height will be 200 pixel. Now if I hit save, and now you can see it looks amazing. Now we have white background and the shadow. Awesome. So our desktop navigation bar or large screen navigation bar is completed. Next let's work on the mobile navigation bar. So for this, go to the responsive nav and let's add this mobile nav, and then go to the mobile nav bar, and here inside this div we will first have a overlay. So black overlay. Here we have a div with class name of fixed, then the inset will be 0. Transform, we're going to use transform and transition for the sliding and smooth animation. Then the transition will be all. Duration will be 500 millisecond. Z index will be 1002. BG will be black, and opacity will be 70. Width will be full and height will be screen. And if I hit save and if I go to our project, so here you can see we have our black background overlay. Awesome. So let's remove the height from here and hit save. then go to the mobile navbar. Now after the overlay, we'll have our nav links. So here we have a div with class name of text white. This one will be fixed also. Justify will be center. Flex will be in the column direction. Height will be full. We're going to use transform here. Then the transition will be all. Duration will be 500 millisecond. We're going to add a delay of 300 millisecond. So we first want the overlay to come to the screen, and then after 300 millisecond later, the actual nav links will come to the screen. This will look amazing. So if I show you in the deployed version, if I click here, you can see first the overlay comes and then the actual nav link. So that's why we are using this delay. So delay will be 300 millisecond and width will be 80%, and smaller devices width will be 60%, smaller and larger screen. BG will be orange 500, space Y will be 6, then jet index will be 150. That's it. Now inside this div, we're going to use our nav links and we're going to map through it. We'll get the individual link and then we're going to return a new link component from our next link, and here the href will be link dot url, and then we have the key will be link dot id, and inside this div we have a p tag with our link dot label. That's it. Now this p tag will have a class name of text white, width will be fit, text will be 20 pixel, margin left will be 12, border bottom will be 1.5 pixel, padding bottom will be 1, border will be white, and smaller devices text will be 30 pixels, smaller and large screen. So now if I hit save and let's go to our project, so here you can see we have our orange background with this nav links. Awesome. Next we need this cross icon. So let's go to our code. So after the nav links, we'll have the close icon. So close icon, and here we're going to use cg close from React icons, and here this one will have a class name of absolute, top will be 0.7 RAM, then right will be 1.4 RAM, in smaller devices width will be 8, and smaller devices height will be 8, width will be 6, height will be 6. That's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here we have the icon, but this is the outside. So what we need to do is let's cut it from here, and this will be inside this div. Now if I hit save, now you can see it's in the correct place. So just like this one. Next we need to implement the functionality to make it responsive. So for that, let's go to our responsive nav, and here we are going to convert this into a client component using use client, because here we are going to use hooks. So first I'm going to create a state variable which is show nav and set show nav, and we're going to use state, and initially this one will be false. Then I'm going to create two functions. So first is open nav handler. This one will open our navbar, and here we are going to set our show nav property to true. And then another one which is close nav handler, and this one will set our show nav to false. That's it. Now we have to pass these props in our nav and mobile nav. So for the nav we are going to pass the open nav, and in the open nav we are going to pass open nav handler, and in the mobile nav bar we are going to pass the show nav, which is the show nav state variable, and then the close nav, which is our close nav handler. Now it's give us the warning because of the type. We need to receive the type in our navbar and mobile navbar and give them the proper types for these props. So first let's go to the navbar, and here I'm going to create a type. So const, not const, type props. You can name it anything you want. I name this props. You can name it nav props, or you can name it anything you want. So here we are receiving a open nav, which is a function, arrow function that returns void. Now let's pass this here props, and let's import the open nav. Then go to the burger menu. So when we click on the burger menu, we're going to call our open nav function and open our nav. That's it. Now let's go to the responsive, not responsive nav, mobile nav bar, and here we are also receiving some props. So type props, we are receiving here a show nav, which is a type of boolean, and we are also receiving a close nav, which is an arrow function that returns void. That's it. Now we're going to pass this here. So props, and we are going to import our close nav and show nav. That's it. Now when we click on the close icon, so on click we're going to call our close nav. That's it. Now based on this show nav, we are going to show or hide our navigation bar, or you can say the sidebar. So what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to create a custom variable, and I'm going to name this nav open. So this one will check if the show nav is true, then we're going to show our navbar using this translate x0 to bring the sidebar in the screen. Otherwise we're going to use translate x minus 100%. We're going to remove this from the screen. Now we have to add this in our overlay as well as in our navlink. So I'm going to convert this into a template literal format so that I can inject the dynamic variable here. So here let's add the nav open, and same goes for this. Convert this into a template literal, and then here we're going to use our nav open. Now hit save. Now if I go to our project and if I click here, you can see it's open our nav very smoothly and also close our navbar. Awesome. Our functionality works properly. So now you can see we have this navbar, and then we have this button, and we also have our responsive Navbar. So if I show you in the iPad version, you can see in iPad it also works properly. So our Navbar is completed. Now we are going to implement our dark mode and light mode functionality. For this, we are going to use a npm package which is next theme, which will manage our theme state properly. So this is the package that we are going to use. You can see they have a high number of weekly downloads. And so first let's install this. So copy this and then paste it here for the installation. And you can learn more about by reading their documentations. So first what I'm going to do is in my app component home, in the component I'm going to create a folder called HOC for higher order function, and here I'm going to create a provider.tsx, and here you can see it's install completed, and I'm going to use RFC to create the component boilerplate, and we are going to convert this into a client component using use client, and here we'll receive the children, which is a type of, and the which is an object, and here the children is a type of React node. That's it. And we are going to import something from our next theme, and we are going to import here theme provider. Then I'm going to remove this, and we're going to use theme provider, and inside this we will have our children. That's it. And then we are going to pass some property here. So first one is the attribute. The attribute will be class. Then the default theme will be system. Then the enable system. That's it. So this is our provider. Next, go to your tailwind config.ts, and here we're going to add the dark mode and then class. That's it. Now go to your theme toggle. So in the home, not in the home, in the helper, then this theme toggle. So here we're also going to convert this into a client component using use client. Now at the top, we're going to create a state variable called mounted and set mounted, and we're going to use state, and initially this will be false. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to get something, and we're going to use theme from next theme, and we're going to call this. Here we will get theme, then the set theme and system theme. Next, we're going to use a use effect hooks, and we are going to have an empty dependency array, and here we're going to set mounted to true. Next, we're going to check if there is not mounted, we're going to return null. This will prevent hydration mismatch. Next, we'll get the current theme, and current theme we're going to check if the theme is equal to system, then system theme will be theme. That's it. Next, here in the button, I'm going to remove this, and this button will have a on click property. On click, and here we're going to set our theme, and then we're going to check if the current theme is equal to dark. If the current theme is dark, we're going to convert this into light, otherwise dark. That's it. And in the class name, we're going to add the dark class name here. So in the dark, the bg will be gray 800, then we have hover bg gray 300, and in dark hover, in the dark case, the hover will be bg gray 700. That's it. Now inside this button, we're going to check if the current theme is dark. If the current theme is dark, then we are going to use a icon, otherwise we will use another icon. So here we are going to use bi sun from our React icons, and this one will have a class name of text yellow 400, width will be 6, height will be 6. Otherwise we're going to use bi moon, and this one will have a class name of text gray 600, width will be 6, height will be 6. So that's it. This is our theme toggle. Now let's go to the layout, where we are going to wrap our entire project with the provider. So let's go to the layout, and here we are going to wrap our responsive nav and children with our provider. So provider, we are going to import this from our higher order function, and inside this we are going to pass this. So cut it from here and paste it here. So that's it. So this is our provider, and here in the HTML also add a super hydration warning. That's it. Suppress hydration warning. That's it. Now if I go to our project, and here you can see we have our dark theme, and it's check the system, and my system is in the dark mode, that's why it's applied the dark theme. Now if I click here, you can see it's in the light mode, and you can see how smooth its transition from dark mode to light mode, and it's awesome. And you can see the button also changes background color based on this. Now we need to change the navbar color. So let's go to our nav.tsx, and here first in this step the background will be white for the light mode, and in the dark mode the background will be black. Next go to the nav links, and here the text will be gray 800, but in the dark mode text will be white. That's it. And then here this download button, this one will be bg orange 500, not 600. That's it. And let's add a comment here. This is the thin toggle button. That's it. Now if I hit save and let's go to our project, and now you can see it's the color is white now for the nav link, and when we are on the light mode it's black again. Awesome. So our dark mode and light mode works properly, and you can see how cool it is and how easy it is to implement the dark light mode in Next.js. Awesome. So our dark mode light mode functionality is completed. Next, we are going to build the hero section. So if I show you the hero section, here you can see we have an image and some text content. So to build this section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new component in my home, and I'm going to name it hero.tsx, and I'm going to use RFC to create the component boilerplate, and then I'm going to add this in our home. So here we're going to add our hero section. Now if I hit save and go to our project, here you can see we have the text hero. Now let's go to your home component and then go to your hero.tsx, and for the first div we have a class name of relative, width will be full, height will be screen, flex, justify, center, and flex will be in the column direction. Then inside this div we have another div with class name of width will be 90%, in medium screen width will be 80%, mx will be auto, items will be center. We're going to use grid system. Grid calls will be 1 for mobile devices, and in Excel extra large we are going to use grid calls of 2. Grid calls 2, and we're going to use a gap of 10. Now inside this div we will have some text content. So this div is for the text content, and we will also have a image content. So this div is for the image content. So if I show you the deployed version, here you can see we have one part for our text content and one part for our image. And in the text content, first we have this box. But one thing, if you notice that the box text will be in a lot of place. So that's why we're going to create a separate component for this box so that we can reuse it. So let's go to our project. And in the text content div, we have no classes here, and inside this div we are going to have our box text. So let's create this component in the helper. So I'm going to name this box text.tsx, and I'm going to use RFC to create the component boilerplate, and here we are going to receive a props. So type props, and we're receiving a text which is type of string. Then we're going to pass the props here, and we're going to import the text. Then I'm going to use a p tag here, and here we'll have our text. This p tag will have a class name of, so class name text is smaller devices, text will be base, rounded will be large, font will be bold, text wide, px will be 4, py will be 1, bg will be orange 600, and width will be fit. That's it. Now let's go to the hero component. And here inside this div we have the box text. So we are going to use our box text component from our helper. We are going to import this from helper folder, and we are going to pass the text here. The text will be digital ebook. Now if I hit save and go to our project, and here you can see we have this box text with digital ebook, just like this one. Awesome. Next we have this heading, so I'm going to copy the heading from here. Then we are going to have our heading. I'm going to use a h1 here, and I'm going to paste the text here. This h1 will have a class name of text to excel. In medium screen, text will be 3 excel. In large screen, text will be 4 excel. Margin top will be 6, margin bottom will be 6. Font will be bold. Text color will be blue 950. And in the dark mode, the text will be white. Then what we have is leading of 2.5 gram, and in medium screen leading will be 3.5 gram. That's it. And this development text will be inside a span because it has a different color. So here the span will have a class name of text orange 500. That's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have our heading ebook to foster your personal and professional development, and you can see this development have different color. Now if I go to the dark mode, you can see in the dark mode this text have white color, which looks awesome. So this is our heading. Then we have this description, so I'm going to copy it from here, and then after the h1 we have some description. So I'm going to use a p tag, and this p tag will have a class name of text extra small. In smaller and larger screen, text will be small. In medium screen, text will be base. Font will be medium. Text will be gray 700. In the dark mode, text will be gray 500. And that's it. Now if I hit save, and here you can see we have our description, so just like this one. Next we have two buttons. So for the button we are going to again use the Dave Jojo website for the pre-built buttons. I'm going to open their website, and here we're going to use this button. So I'm going to copy this and then go to our code. So after the description we'll have buttons, and first we have a div with class name of margin top will be 8. Flex will be in the column direction, and smaller and larger screen. Flex will be in the row direction. Width will be feet. In smaller devices and large screen, items will be center. Then we have space Y of 4. In smaller devices, smaller and large screen, we have space Y of 0. and smaller devices we have not screw space y0. That's it. We also have a in the smaller devices the space x will be 4. That's it. Now if I hit save, and inside this we will have our first button. So let's paste the code here, and then we have our second button. So paste it here, and let's change some of this. So first we need to change this class name. So the class will be replaced with class name. So let's select all of this. Class name. So let's make this class name, and this one will be fill rule. Then fill opacity. Then this one will be class name. This one will be fill rule and fill opacity. Let's make this class name, fill rule, fill opacity. So in JavaScript and JSX we use these types of convention, not the dash one. That's it. Now hit save. This button will have the text of browse ebook, and the first one will be download now. That's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have our two buttons, but the both are same color, but we need to change one. So we're going to change the first one to red. So let's go to the first button, and here we're going to change this from BG green 400 to BG rose 600. Now if I hit save and go to our project, now here you can see we have our two buttons, but here we have the same hover effect. So we need to change this also. See, in the hover this one will be BG rows 800. That's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, now this looks good. Awesome. This looks exactly like this one. Next we need the image. So let's go to our project, and here we have this image content div, and this div will have a class name of mx will be auto, this one will be hidden, and in extra large screen this will be block, rounded t will be full, that means rounded top will be full. Now inside this we will use an image component from our next image, and here the source will be slash images slash hero.jpg. Then we have an alt tag of image, then width will be 500 and height will be 500, and class name will be rounded t4. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so now you can see this looks amazing, just like this one. Awesome. Let's check the responsiveness. If I select a mobile devices, you can see in mobile devices everything fit perfectly and looks amazing. The button are now looking good. And if I show you in the iPad version, in iPad it also looks very nice. In iPad devices and mobile devices we don't have the image. Awesome. And if I show you the dark mode, you can see in the dark mode here we have a problem. So here we have some extra styling. So what we need to do is, let's go to our button. So go to the first button and add a overflow of hidden, and same for this one, overflow hidden. Now you can see now it looks good, and this is in the dark mode. So if I show you the dark mode, so you can see everything looks amazing. So our hero section is completed. Next, we are going to build the about us section. So if I show you the about us section, here you can see we have an image and some text. So to build this, I'm going to create a new file inside my home, and I'm going to name this about.tsx, and then I'm going to use RAFCE to create the component boilerplate, and then I'm going to add this in my home. So after the hero, we are going to add our about. And if I hit save and go to our project, here you can see we have the text about. Now let's go to our about.tsx, and here the first div have a class name of padding top of 16, padding bottom of 16, bg will be gray 100, and in dark mode we will have a bg gray of 950. That's it. Now inside this div we'll have another div with class name of width 90%, in medium screen width will be 70%, mx will be auto, we're going to use grid calls will be 1, and in extra large grid calls will be 5, and gap will be 14, items will be center. Now inside this div, first we have the image content. So this div is for the image content. Then we have the text content. So this div is for the text content. Now the image content div have a class name of, in extra large the call span will be 2. That's it. Now inside this div we will have the image component from our next image, and here the source will be slash images slash about.jpg. Then the alt, let's use image, the width will be 500, the height will be 500, and we have a class name of rounded pixel. That's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have our background and this image. Awesome. Next we have this box text, the heading, the subheading. So let's go to our code. So now in the text content div, this div have a class name of, in extra large call span will be 3. Now inside this div we will have our box text. So let's use our box text component from our helper. So box text, and here the text will be about us. That's it. Then we have our heading. So here we have h1. Let's copy the heading text. So this is the text. So copy this and paste it here. And this h1 will have a class name of text excel. In smaller devices, text will be 2xl. In medium screen, text will be 3xl. In extra large, text will be 4xl. Margin top will be 6, margin bottom will be 6. Text will be gray 800. And in dark mode, text will be gray 200. And then the font will be semi-bold. Now if I hit save and go to our project, where you can see this is our heading, so just like this one. Then we have this description, so I'm going to copy this, and after this h1 we have our description. So I'm going to use a p tag and I'm going to paste the text here. This p tag will have a class name of text small. In medium screen, text will be base, font will be semi bold, text color will be gray 600, and in dark mode the text will be gray 400. That's it. Now if I go to our project, so here you can see we have our description. Another thing that you can notice is when I mark this, the color is blue, but in the deployed version it's orange. So to do this, we are going to use our global CSS. So let's quickly do this. So go to the global CSS, and here we're going to use selection, and here we're going to use the background color orange, and then we're going to use color of white. That's it. Hit save and let's go to the about.tsx. Now if I go to our project and if I mark, now you can see it's orange color and it looks good. So that's awesome. Next we have this list. So after this p tag we have lists. So first we have a div here with class name of margin top of 8, space y will be 5, and now inside this div we have another div with class name of flex. Items will be center, then we have space x of 2, and then inside this div we're going to use an icon called bi check from React Icons, and this one will have a class name of text orange 500, and then the width will be 7 and height will be 7. That's it. Then we have a p tag and we're going to use some random text. So if you wonder how I use this, so to generate random text you need to install an extension, and the extension is this one, lorem ipsum generator. By installing this you can create random text. And now this p tag will have a class name of text gray 800, and in the dark mode the text will be gray 300, font will be semi bold, text will be small. In medium screen, text will be base. That's it. Now we have more of this, so I'm going to copy it. Let's see, we have 4. So first one, So this is the first. So let's add a comment, first item, and this one is the second item, and let's try different content here. Then this is the third item, and this is the fourth item. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see this is our list. So this looks just like this one. Awesome. Next we need a button, and which is read more button. So for this we are going to again use our Dave Jojo button. So let's go to the Dave Jojo website, and here we are going to use this button. So I'm going to copy this, and let's go to our code, and here after this div we're going to use a comment of button, and then here we have a div with class name of margin top of 14, and inside this div I'm going to paste the button, and here I'm going to change the class to class name, and let's remove this relative. Now if I hit save, and let's change this to read more, and then a HTML code, and this will generate a arrow. So now if I hit save and go to our code, here you can see we have our read more button, which looks awesome, just like this one. Cool. Now if I show you the responsiveness, so if I inspect and if I select the mobile devices, you can see in mobile devices we have the image and the content, and everything fit perfectly. And if I show you in the iPad devices, in iPad it also looks awesome. Now let me show you the dark mode here. So if I click here, so in the dark mode you can see it looks amazing, but here we have this thing that looks ugly. So what we need to do is, let's go to our code and just remove this. We do not need it. If I hit save, and now you can see it's gone, and now it looks awesome. So these are dark mode and light mode. So our about us section is completed. Next we are going to build the benefits section. So if I show you the benefits section, here you can see we have some section heading, then we have two card on the left side, two card on the right side, and the image at the center. So now we are going to build this section. So for this I'm going to create a file here in my home, and I'm going to name it benefits.tsx, and I'm going to use RFC to create the component boilerplate, and then I'm going to add this in my home. So after the about, we're going to add our benefits. That's it. Now if I go to our project, here you can see we have our text benefits. Now let's go to the benefits. Here first what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste some of the data that we are going to use. So let's paste it. So these are the benefits data that we are going to use. Here we have an array of object, and the object contains a title, a description, and an icon. So let's import these icons. So this bi video icon will coming from React icons. Then we have another object with title, description, and icon. Then we have this book icon. Then this is the link icon. So this is just a dummy content that we are going to use. You can use anything you want. You can change the title if you want. You can change the content here. You can change the icon if you want. So these are just static data that we are going to use. Next, the div will have a class name of padding top of 16, padding bottom of 16. Now inside this div we have another div with class name of padding y will be 16, px will be 4, width will be 90%, then in medium screen width will be 80%, mx will be auto, text will be center. Now inside this div we have another div with class name of mx auto, width will be fit, margin bottom will be 4. Now inside this div we are going to use our box text content component from our helper, and here the text will be benefit. Now if I hit save and go to our project, here you can see we have our benefits box. Next, after this div we have h2 with our heading, and this is our box text. And let's copy the heading from our deployed version. So discover your benefits, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. Then we have a p tag, and I'm also going to copy that text from here. So let's copy this and then paste it here. Now the h2 have a class name of text excel. In medium screen text will be 3xl, font will be bold. Now for the p tag we have a class name of text gray 600. In dark mode the text will be gray 400, then margin top will be 2, max width will be XL, then we have mx of auto, text will be small. In medium screen text will be base. That's it. Now if I go to our project, and here you can see we have our heading and subheading, so just like this one. So here heading, this is the subheading. After this p tag we have another div with class name of margin top of 16. We're going to use grid system. Grid calls will be 1. In extra large grid calls will be 3, gap will be 6, and items will be center. Now inside this div we first have the left side card. So here we are going to use another div with class name of grid, and gap will be 6, and inside this we are going to use our benefits, and we are going to slice this, and we will just take the 2 item and then we are going to map through it, and we will get the individual benefit and index, and then we are going to use the div, and here we need to pass the key will be the index, and then we have some class name here. The class name will be padding 6, bg will be white, then in the dark we are going to use bg blue 950, shadow will be md, rounded xl, then we have text left, border Then we have border gray of 200, and in dark mode we don't need any border, so border no. That's it. Now inside this div we have another div, and inside this div we have another div with class name of width 12, height 12, margin bottom will be 4, rounded will be full, bg will be orange 500, flex items will be center, justify center, and flex will be in the column direction. Now inside this div we're going to use a span, and the span will have a class name of text 3xl, and inside the span we are going to use benefits dot icon. So that's it. Now after this div, so after this div we'll have another div, and here we have a h3 with our benefits dot title, and then we have a p tag with our benefits dot description. This h3 will have a class name of text base, and in medium screen text will be large, font will be semi bold, and margin bottom will be 3. This p tag will have a class name of text gray 600. In the dark mode we have text gray 300, and text will be small. That's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have our two card which looks exactly like this one and looks awesome. Next we need the image, so let's go to our project. So this is our left sidebar, then we have the center image, and here we're going to use a div, and this div will have a class name of flex justify center, and inside this div we have a image from next image, and the source will be slash images slash b.jpg, and the width will be 900, and the height will be 900. The alt will be image, and then we have a class name of rounded xl shadow medium. Now if I hit save and if I go to our project, so here you can see we have our center image, so just like this one. Next we have this right card, so after this center image we have our right card. So for the right card I am going to copy this, so copy this and then paste it here and change this from just 2, and now if I hit save and go to our projects, so now here we have the right side and it looks amazing. Then we need this button, So let's go after the right card, and after finishing this, so after completing this everything, we are going to use a comment of button, not buttons, just button, single button. And here I'm going to use a div with class name of margin top of 8. Here I'm going to use a regular button. I'm not going to use the website. So let's use the button, and the button text will be read more, and then the HTML code for the arrow. So RARR, that's it. This button will have a class name of BG Orange 500. In hover, we have BG Orange 600. Text will be wide. PX will be 6. PY will be 2. In medium screen, PX will be 8. In medium screen, PY will be 3. Rounded LG. Text will be LG. Font will be medium. And then we have transition, and duration will be 300 milliseconds. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here we have the button, but it does not show in the correct place, so in the center. So I think this button will be inside this tip. So here, now if I hit save, now it's in the correct place and looks amazing. Now let me show you the responsiveness. So if I show you the mobile devices, in the mobile devices you can see everything fit perfectly. And let's show you the iPad devices. In iPad it also fit perfectly. And next let me show you the dark mode, and here you can see in the dark mode its background color is changed, and in the dark mode it also looks amazing. So this is our benefit section. Our benefit section is completed. Next we are going to build the best selling book slider. So if I show you the best selling book slider, here you can see we have some section heading, and then we have a beautiful slider. So to build this, I am going to create a new folder inside my home, and I'm going to name it best selling. And inside this I'm going to create a file called best selling.tsx, and then I'm going to use rfc to create the component boilerplate, and then I'm going to add this in my home. So after the benefits, we are going to add our best selling. Now if I hit save and go to our project, here you can see we have the text best selling. Now let's go to the best selling.tsx, and here the first div have a class name of padding top of 16, padding bottom of 16, bg will be gray 100, and in the dark mode the background will be gray 950. Now inside this div we have another div with class name of text center, and then inside this div what we are going to do is I'm going to copy from benefits.tsx. So I'm going to copy this box, this heading, and this subheading. So let's copy this and let's go to the best selling and paste it here, and let's import the box text, and here the text will be best selling, and then the heading will be our best selling, our best selling books. And let's copy the subheading from here. So let's copy this and paste it here. So this is just some random text. Now if I hit save and go to our project, here you can see we have best selling and our section and subheading. Next we have this slider. So for the slider I'm going to create a separate component. So here we have the slider div. So this div will have a class name of width will be 90%, in medium screen width will be 80%, image will be auto, and margin top will be 16. And I'm going to create a new component here and I'm going to name it slider.tsx, and I'm going to use RAFC to create the component boilerplate, and then I'm going to add this here. So this is our slider. Now hit save. So this is our slider component. Here we are going to configure our slider. So here you can see we have the text slider. So I think here the slider will be outside of this div. So this is our div for the section heading. So outside this div. Now if I hit save, now you can see here is the slider. Next what I'm going to do is, for the slider we are going to use a package, and the package is React multi carousel. So we are going to use this package for our sliding feature. So if I go to their npm package, so here you can see they have the demo and they have the documentation. If you want, you can learn more about this. So first I'm going to copy their npm script and then I'm going to paste it here to install the package. Then in the slider.js, first I'm going to convert this into a client component using use client. And then let's go to the code, and here first we need to import the carousel and the styling. That's it. Then copy this responsive variable from here and then paste it here. We're going to change some of this configuration. So in the desktop the max will be 3000 and the mean will be 1324. The item will be 3 and slide will be 1. So slides to slide will be 1. And for the tablet this one will be 1324 and the mean will be 764. The item will be 2 and the slides to slide will be 1. In mobile devices the max will be 764 and the items will be 1 and slides to slide will be 1. That's it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a array of images that we are going to use. So here we will have s1 dot jpg, then we have s2 dot jpg, s3 dot jpg, s4 dot jpg, s5 dot jpg, and then s6 dot jpg. So these are the last part of our image URL. So this is the array. Next here I am going to go to there, and here you can see they have a different types of configuration options. So let's paste it here, and here the show dots, we are not going to show the dots. If you want you can use the show dot, and the responsive is coming from our responsive. We do not need the SSR. Infinity will be true and autoplay will be true, and the autoplay speed will be 5000 milliseconds, that means 5 seconds. Then you can keep the keyboard control, and we do not need the other classes, so I'm going to remove all of this. That's it. Now inside this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to map through our images array. Map through it, we will get an individual image and the index, and then we are going to return a div, and here the key will be index, and then the class name will be height 500 pixel, and margin will be 3, and the positioning will be relative. Now inside this div, we're going to use our image from next image, and the source will be, we're going to use the template literal, and the source will be slash images slash and then the image. That means the last part s1.jpg. Then the alt, let's use slider image. Then we have width 500, height will be 500. Then we have a class name of object cover, then width will be full and height will be full. That's it. Then after the image, we will have another div with class name of, so this is inside after the image, so this will have a class name of absolute, bottom will be 0, padding will be 4, text will be white, text will be LG, font bold, BG will be orange 500, width will be full, and inside this div we will have book name, and then we're going to use index plus 1. So this is just some dummy name like book 1, book 2, book 3. That's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, and here you can see we have our beautiful slider, and here you can see we have the book name 1, book name 6, book name 2, and this looks awesome. So if I show you the responsiveness, and if I show in the mobile devices, you can see in mobile devices we have one image as a slider, and if I show you the iPad, so you can see in the iPad we have two items, and this looks amazing. And then if I show you the dark mode, you can see in dark mode it also looks amazing. So our best selling book slider section is completed. Next we are going to build a pricing section. So if I show you the pricing section, here you can see we have 3 pricing cards. So to build this, I am going to create a new folder inside my home, and I am going to name it price, and inside this I am going to create a price.tsx, and I am going to use rafc to create the component boilerplate, and then I am going to add this in my home. So after the best selling, we are going to add our price. Now if I hit save and go to our project, here you can see we have our text price. Now here let's go to the price.tsx, and the first div have a class name of padding top of 16, padding bottom of 16, bg will be gray 100, and in dark mode the bg will be gray 950. Now if I hit save, and inside this div we'll have another div. So here basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this div from our best selling. So this is the section heading, so let's copy this and paste it here, and let's import the box text, and here the heading will be our best pricing plan. That's it. And let's have this same subheading. So now if I go to our project, and here you can see we have our section heading, our best pricing, and also change the box text here. This one will be pricing. Now if I hit save, now it looks good, the pricing. Then we have our best pricing plans and then the subheading. Then after this div, we have another div with class name of width will be 80%. Then we have mx of auto, grid calls will be 1, and in medium screen grid calls will be 2, in extra large grid calls will be 3, gap will be 10, margin top will be 16. Now inside this div we have another div, and here we are going to create a separate component for our price card. So let's go to our price folder and let's create a price card.tsx so that we can reuse our price card. So we have 3 price card. We are going to create one and then reuse it. Now here we are going to use our price card component, and then we are going to pass some prompts here. So the first one that we are going to pass is the type of the price. So first one is basic. Then we are going to pass the price, and for the first one this one will be 29, and then we are going to have 2 more. So I'm going to copy this and paste it 2 more times. The second one is the advanced planning, and this one is 49, and the last one is premium, and the pricing, let's say 99. So now we have to receive these props in our price card. So let's go to the price card, and here type props, and we are receiving a type of string and then a price of string. Now we're going to add this here, and then we're going to import our price and type. That's it. Now here the first div have a class name of busy will be wide, rounded will be large, shadow will be large, and padding will be 6. Now if I hit save and if I go to our project, here you can see we have 3 card with the shadow and background, and we have the text price card. Now inside this div we have a h1 with the type and this h1, and after this we have the text then. So this h1 will have a class name of margin top will be 6, text 3xl, text gray 700, font will be bold, text will be center. That's it. Then after this h1 we have another div with class name of margin top of 10, text will be center, text will be large, font will be semi bold, and in dark mode the text will be black. Now inside this div we have a span with price, and this span will have a class name of, so class name text for Excel, font will be bold, text will be orange 500, and text will be center. And after this we will have slash month. Now if I hit save, if I go to our project, so here you can see we have the basic plan, advanced plan and premium plan, and we have the pricing 29, 49 and 99. So just like this one. Awesome. Next we have this list. So let's go here. So let's add some comment here. This is the plan type, then this is the price, and then we have the feature. So here we have a div with class name of margin top of 14, text will be center. Now inside this div we have a h1 with class name of text gray 400, padding bottom will be 3, margin bottom will be 4, border bottom will be 2, border opacity will be 15. That's it. Now I'm going to copy the text from here. So copy this and paste it here. We have another one. The next one is click to callback. Then we have track energy costs. Then we have predictive dialing. That's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have our features list. Awesome. So just like this one. Next we have a button. So here after this div we have another div for our button. So this div will have a class name of margin top of 6 and text will be center. So we are going to use our Dave Jozo, and here we are going to use this button. So let's copy this and paste it here, and the button text will be download, and let's use the class name here. So class name. Now if I hit save and go to our project, and here you can see we have our button for download. Awesome. So just like this one. Now let me show you the responsiveness. So if I inspect and if I show you in the mobile devices, you can see mobile devices, it fit perfectly with the screen size, and in ipad it also fit perfectly. And let's check in the dark mode, and in the dark mode you can see it also looks amazing. So our pricing section is completed. Next we are going to build the review slider. So if I show you the review slider, here you can see we have our section heading with this review slider. So to build it, I'm going to create a new folder inside my home, and I'm going to name it review, and inside this I'm going to create a file called review.css, and I'm going to use RAFC to create the component boilerplate. Then I'm going to add this in my home. So after the price we are going to add our review. That's it. Now if I go to our project, here you can see we have our text review. Now this review component, the first div have a class name of padding top of 16, padding bottom of 16. Then inside this we will have our section heading. So I'm going to copy this from our bestseller. So let's copy this. If you want, you can create a separate component for this as naming this a section heading, but I'm just copy this and then go to the review and paste it here. Let's import the box text, and here the box text, the text will be reviews, and then the heading will be our success stories. Now if I hit save and go to our project, here you can see we have our section heading with review, success stories, and then the subheading. Awesome. So after this we will have our slider. So for the slider I'm going to create a separate component. So in the review folder I'm going to create a review slider.tsx, and I'm going to use RFC to create the component boilerplate, and then I'm going to add this here. So here we will first have a div with class name of with 80%, mx will be auto, then we have margin top of 16. Now inside this div we are going to place our slider. This one is review slider. That's it. Now let's go to the review slider, and here we already installed our React multi-carousel, so we are going to use this React multi-carousel. So let's go to the best selling and then slider, and then copy this from here and paste it here. Also convert this into a client component using the use client, and then I'm going to copy this configuration also. So copy this and then paste it here, and let's close the carousel. That's it. Now inside this carousel we will first have a div, and then inside this div we will have our component, and I'm going to create another component for our review card. So let's create this. So let's go to our review folder and let's create a review card.tsx, and I'm going to use RFC to create the component boilerplate, and then I'm going to add this in my review slider. So here I'm going to use review slider, and I'm going to hit save. And sorry, here we are not going to use the review slider here. This one will be review card. That's it. Now we are going to pass some of the props in our review card. So first one is the name, and for the first one we are going to use John Doe as the name. Then we are going to use role, and for the first one the role will be teacher. After the role we will have image, and for the first one we have a slash images slash user1 dot jpg, and we will have 6 of them. So I'm going to copy it 6 times, and I'm going to change the profs here. So second one, let's use another name, the profession, let's say developer, and the image will be user2, and let's use, so let's use this Jane, and let's use this Javido, and this one will be user3, and let's say DevOps engineer, and let's use Jack, Let's use doctor user 4. Let's use Jonas and Marn developer. And let's use the user 1 again because we have 4 images. So we're going to reuse some image. And for the last one, let's use Jessica. And let's use here Next.js developer. And let's use user 2. That's it. So these are the props that we are going to send in our review card. Now let's go to the review card, and here first we need to get the props and give them the proper type definition. So I'm going to use props, and here we are receiving an image of type string, then we're receiving name of type string, then we're receiving role of type string. That's it. Now we need to pass it here, the props, and then the image, the name, the role. That's it. Now here inside this div, we will have another div with class name of flex, items will be center, spaces will be 6. Now inside this div, we will have our image from next image, and then the source, we're going to use the image as a source. The alt will be user, the width will be 880, and the height will be 80. And then we have a class name of rounded full. That's it. Now if I go to our project and go to our client review, here you can see we have our images. So 1 2 3 3 images, which looks awesome. So then after the image, we have another div, and inside this div we have h1 with the name, and then a p tag with the role. The h1 will have a class name of text large, font bold, and then the p tag will have a class name of text gray 600. That's it. Now if I go to our project, so here you can see we have our image and the name and the row, which looks awesome. So after this p tag and after this div, we have a p tag with the actual review text. So I'm going to create some random text, and then this p tag will have a class name of margin top will be 4, text will be small, text will be gray 700. In the dark mode, the text will be gray 400, width will be 80%. That's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here we have our review text, but that doesn't look like this one. So this p tag will be outside of this div. So this div is for the image and the name and roles. So after this we have this p tag. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so now you can see here we have our review text, and it looks very nice, just like this one. Next we have our review star. So after this p tag, let's add some comment here. So actual review text, these are the user info, and these are the user image. That's it. After the p tag we have the star. So here we have a div, with class name of flex. Items will be center, margin top will be 5. Now inside this div we have a star icon. So we're going to use FS star from React icons, and then this will have a class name of text yellow 500, and width will be 5, and height will be 5. That's it. And we have 5 of them, so I'm going to copy it 4 more times. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have our beautiful star icon, and the review session looks amazing. Now if I show you the responsiveness, if I inspect and if I select a mobile devices, and in the mobile devices you can see we have our one slider and it looks nice. And if I show you the iPad devices, in iPad we have two review. So if I show you the deployed versions, if I inspect this and if I show you the iPad version, here you can see it looks exactly like this one, and in the mobile devices it also looks like the deployed one. And if I show you the dark mode, in the dark mode you can see it also looks amazing. So our review section is completed. Now we are going to build the footer section. So if I show you the footer section, here you can see our footer section have 4 part, and here we have a bottom part of our footer. So now we are going to build the footer. So for this I am going to create a new file in my home, and let's go to home, and here I'm going to create a footer.tsx, and I'm going to use RFC to create the component boilerplate, and then I'm going to add this in our layout. So in the layout, after the nav children, then we are going to add our footer. Now if I hit save and let's go to our project, here you can see we have our text footer. Now let's go to the footer.tsx, and here the first div have a class name of padding top of 16, padding bottom of 16. In the dark mode, the BG will be gray 950. Now inside this div, we have another div with class name of width will be 80%, image will be auto, items will be start, grid calls will be 1. In smaller devices, grid calls will be 2. Where forget to add the grid here. Then in medium screen, grid calls will be 2. In large screen, grid calls will be 4, and gap will be 10. Now inside this div, we have our first part of the footer. So here we have a div, and inside this div first we have our logo. So we are going to import the logo from our helper. Then we have a p tag with some random text. So I'm going to use lorem ipsum generator to generate some random text, and then this p tag will have a class name of margin top will be 5, font will be semi bold, then text gray will be 700, text gray 700, and text will be small. That's it. And then after this p tag we have our social icons. So here we have a div with class name of flag, items will be center, spaces will be 4, and margin top will be 6. Now inside this div we are going to use fa Facebook f icon from our React icon. Then we are going to have a Twitter icon, so fa Twitter. Then we are going to have a fa dribble, icon, and finally we are going to have a YouTube icon. That's it. Now if I go to our project, and here you can see we have our logo, our text, and then the social icons. Awesome. Next we are going to build the second part. So after the first part, so this is the first part, and here so we have second part, and here we will have a div with class name of space y5, and inside this div we will have a h1 with the text company, and this h1 will have a class name of text lg font bold, and then we have a p tag with the text about us, and this p tag will have a class name of text gray 800. In the dark mode, the text gray will be 400, font will be medium, cursor pointer text small, and hover text blue 950. That's it. So we have more of this, so I'm going to copy this p. The second one is services. Then we have our customer, then we have portfolio, and finally we have blocks. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have our footer links just like this one. Awesome. So after this we have these resources which are similar to this one, so I'm going to copy this. So this is the div, so I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Then here I'm going to change it to third part, and the heading will be resources, and then this one will be block. Then we have webinar and events. Then we have podcast, and then we have ebook and guide. Ebook and guides. That's it. We do not need it, so I'm going to remove this. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so here you can see we have this part of the footer link. So finally we are going to build this fourth part, which is the contact us section. So after this div, we're going to have our fourth part, and here we have a div, and inside this div we have h1, and this h1 will have the same styling like this one, so I'm going to copy this from here and paste it here. This h1 will have the text of contact us. Then we have a div with class name of margin top will be 6, and inside this div we have a h1 with the text our mobile number, and then we have another h1 with the dummy mobile number. That's it. And then this h1 will have a class name of text small, text gray 600, and in the dark mode text gray 300, and for the second h1 we have a class name of text base font bold, text blue 950, In the dark mode, text gray 300 and margin top will be 1. Now if I hit save and go to our project, so this is our contact us and mobile number and the mobile. Next we have the email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this again. So copy this and change here to our email address, our email address, and let's add a dummy email here, example@gmail.com. Now if I hit save and go to our project, here you can see we have our email address. Awesome. Next we are going to build this bottom part. So for this I am going to copy this text from here, and then let's go to our project. So after completing this footer upper part, we are going to build the bottom part. And here we have a div with class name of margin top of 8, width will be 80%, image will be auto, border top, we're going to use border top, padding top will be 8, this one will be flex will be in the column direction, in medium screen flex will be in the row direction, justify will be between, items will be center, text will be gray 600, text small. Now if I hit save, and inside this div we have a p tag with our copyright text, and this p tag will have a class name of text center. Then we have in medium screen text will be left. That's it. So if I go to our project, here you can see we have our border and the text. So after the p tag we have a div with class name of flex, items will be center, SpaceX will be 4, margin top will be 4, and in medium screen margin top will be 0. Now inside this div we have a span, and here we have the text social, then we have another span with class name of text gray 500, in the hover text gray 800. Now inside this span we will have the social icon. So first one is FA Facebook F, that's it. So I'm going to copy this span 2 more time. The second one is FA Twitter, and the third one is FA Drivel. That's it. Now if I go to our project, so here you can see we have the text social and our social icon. Awesome. So just like this one. Now if I show you the responsiveness of our footer, if I select a mobile devices, and you can see in mobile devices it fit perfectly, and in the iPad it also fit perfectly and looks amazing. Now if I show you the dark mode, in the dark mode it also looks amazing. So our footer section is completed. Next we are going to build the scroll to top functionality. If I show you this functionality in the deployed version, here you can see we have a button. So when I click this button it will go to the top, and initially this is hidden, but when the user starts scrolling this button appear to the screen, and by clicking this it will go to the top smoothly. So now we are going to build this feature. So to build this I am going to create a new file in my helper, and I am going to name it scroll to top.css, and I'm going to use RFC to create the component boilerplate, and then I'm going to make it a client component using use client. Now here inside this, first I'm going to create a state variable, and this is visible and set is visible, and we're going to use state, and initially this one will be hidden. That's why the is visible is false. Then we're going to create the show height functionality, and here we're going to use a use effect, folks. We're going to use effect, and then we're going to use the dependency array, empty dependency array, and inside this I'm going to create a function which is toggle visibility, which is a type of a function that returns void, and this one will be an arrow function. And inside this we're going to check if window dot scroll y, so scroll in the y direction is greater than 300, then we're going to set our is visible to true, else we're going to set our is visible to false. That's it. Then we're going to use window dot add event listener. In the window we are going to add a event listener, and we are going to listen for the scroll event. That means when the user scroll, and we are going to call our toggle visibility. That's it. Next we are going to create a cleanup function. So cleanup function, and here we are going to return an arrow function, and I'm going to copy this and paste it here and replace this with remove event listener. That's it. So this is our show height functionality. Then we're going to create the functionality to go to top functionality, and here we're going to create a function called scroll to top. This one will be an arrow function, and here we're going to use our window dot scroll to, and we're going to scroll to the top. That's why the top will be 0, and we want a smooth behavior, so that's why we're going to use the behavior smooth. That's it. Now here we are going to use this div, and this div have a class name of fixed, bottom will be 4, animate will be pulse, and right 4. Now inside this div we're going to check if the is visible is true. In that case we are going to show a button, and this button will have a class name of bg will be orange 500, text will be white, rounded full, width will be 12, height will be 12, flex, items will be center, justify center, and in the focus the outline none. That's it. And when we click on this button we're going to run our scroll to top function so that we can go to the top. And now inside this button we're going to use a arrow, which is fa arrow up icon. Now if I hit save, and if I go to our project, and let's go to the top, and before that we need to add this, so we're going to add this in our layout. After the footer we're going to add our scroll to top. That's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, and if I start scrolling, here you can see we have our button, and it initially hidden, but when you start scrolling it's appear on the screen. If I click here, it will go to the top smoothly. Now if I go to the bottom and if I click here, you can see it go to the top very smoothly. So our scroll to top functionality works properly. In the dark mode, you can see in dark mode it also works properly. So our scroll to top functionality is completed. Now we are going to add some animation to our website for more user attraction. So if I show you the deployed version, if I reload the page, here you can see we have animation, and also we have the animation when we scroll. So now we are going to implement the animation in our landing page. So for the animation, we are going to use a npm package which is AOS, stands for animation on scroll. This is a very easy to use library that will add animation to your landing page or website very easily. So this is their demo page. So if I scroll here, you can see they have different types of animation: fade up, fade down, then they have the flip, zoom, a lot other animation. And you just need to add this data property to your div to animate your element in the scroll, and it's very easy. So they have different types of options also. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open their GitHub page, and here they have the documentation. If you want to learn more, you can learn from here. So first I'm going to install this package. So I'm going to copy this npm install, and then I'm going to paste it here, and then I'm going to open my home.tsx. Here we are going to configure our AOS. So first I'm going to convert this into a use client to client component. Next we need to import this AOS and the styling. So I'm going to copy this and then paste it here. If I hover here, you can see we need to install the type also. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here to install the type. So next what we need to do is here we're going to use effect hooks, and then we're going to add a empty dependency array. And if I go to their website, here you can see they have a lot of configuration that you can use. So I'm going to use some of this. So inside this use effect, I'm going to first create a function called init AOS. This one will be an async function, and here we're going to first await import AOS. Then I'm going to use AOS dot init, and we're going to pass some property here. So first is the duration. Duration will be 1000 millisecond. Then the easing will be is, and then once will be true, and then anchor placement will be top bottom. That's it. Then we are going to call our init AOS. That's it. So this is our configuration. Next we are going to add our animation to our hero section first. So let's go to the hero section, and here first we are going to add the animation to our text content. So in the text content we are going to use data-aos, and we are going to use fade up. Then we are going to add another animation to the image. So here we are going to add another animation, and here we are going to use data-aos, and we are going to use fade down. We're also going to use another property which is data-aos-delay. So we want that first the text content appear and then after some delay the image appear. That's why we are using the delay. So here we are going to use a 150 millisecond of delay. Now if I go to our project, if I reload the page, and here you can see we have our beautiful animations. Awesome. First the text content and then the image appear to the screen. Next we are going to add animation to our about section. So let's go to our project. Let's go to about.tsx, and here we're going to add the animation only on the image content. So this is the div. Here we're going to use data-aos, and we're going to use zoom in, and then we're going to use another property which is data-aos anchor placement. So for this one we're going to use the anchor placement to top center. That's it. Now if I go to our project and if I reload the page, we have the initial animation, and if I start scrolling we have this about section animation zoom in effect. Awesome. Next we are going to add animation to our benefits section. So I'm going to copy these two lines so that we can use this. Now let's go to the benefits, and in the benefit here let's go to this div, and here we map through it, and then this div we are going to paste our code here, and we're going to use the fade right here. So data-aos will be fade right. The anchor placement will be top center, and we are going to add another property which is data-aos delay, and for this one we're going to use the delay of index multiplied with 100. So what does that means? That when the index is 0, the delay will be 0. When the index is 1, the delay will be 100 milliseconds. And when the index is 2, the delay will be 200 milliseconds. So that's the value here. Next, we are going to add the animation to our image. So I'm going to copy this, and this is the center image div. I'm going to paste the code here. So here the animation we're going to use is zoom in. You can use other properties, other animation if you want. So I'm using the zoom in, and the anchor placement will be top center, and the delay here will be 300 milliseconds. That's it. Then for the right side I'm going to paste the code here. So this one will be fade left. So change this to fade left. The anchor placement will be top center, and the delay will be 300 plus index into 100. So that's it. Now if I hit save and go to our project, if I reload the page, so we have the initial animation, then the about section, and then we have this benefit section animation. Awesome. Next we are going to add our animation to our pricing section. So I'm going to again copy this three property, and then I'm going to open my price.tsx, and here for the first div I'm going to paste it here. The animation will be fade left, anchor placement will be top center, and for the first one we have 0 delay. Now I'm going to copy this and paste it here. The second one will have 150 millisecond of delay and the same animation, and the third one will be 300 milliseconds. Now if I hit save and go to our project, if I reload the page again, so here we have the animation, about section animation, then we have this benefit section animation, then we have this pricing section animation. Awesome. So we implement all our animation here. Let me show you one more time the animation, and if I start scrolling, you can see every animation looks amazing. So this is our animation. Our animation is completed. Now, finally, we are going to deploy our project in live server. So to do this, we are going to use Vercel. So before that, we need to push our project in GitHub. So I'm going to open my GitHub account, and here I'm going to create a new repository, and I'm going to name this ebook YT, and this one will be a private repository, and then I'm going to click here to create repository. Then go to your project and delete this and stop the terminal from running. Here first I'm going to use git init, then git add dot, then git commit, and then a message like first commit. So now if I go to our GitHub page, so we done this. Next, copy this git branch dash m main and paste it here. Then we're going to add our remote origin, so copy this and paste it here. And then we're going to push our project, so I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So this will push our project in GitHub. So it's completed. Now if I go to the GitHub and reload the page, here you can see we have our project in the GitHub. Here we have app, component, constants, and public. So next I'm going to open the Vercel. If you don't have any account in Vercel, you can create one for free. And in the Vercel, I'm going to click here to add new, and then add new project. And here I already connected my GitHub. That's why here you can see we have our ebook YT. So I'm going to import this, and let's use this name. And then I'm going to click here to deploy. So the deployment started. Let's wait some time to complete the deployment. The deployment is completed. Now click here to continue to dashboard. And here you can see we now have a domain. So if I click here, this will open our project. And you can see we are in the dark mode because my system is in the dark mode, and we also have the animation. Awesome. So our everything works properly. Now if I start scrolling, you can see we have our scroll animations, we have our sliders working properly, our pricing section and everything. Now if I click here, it will go to the top, and our dark mode, light mode also works properly. If I inspect, and in the mobile devices, every functionality works properly and everything looks amazing. So now you have a URL that you can share with others. You can add this to your portfolio, or you can add this in your resume, or you can share it with your potential client to show your expertise. So our project is finally completed. If you have any question related to this project, you can ask me in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel for more interesting web development content. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching.